Hi, I'd like to welcome you all to the Informative Speech and Child Advocacy Centers. My name is Tracy Red Heilig, and I'm the Sexual Assault Program Coordinator for the North Idaho Violence Prevention Center. And I've been working with child sexual abuse for roughly 20 years, and it is a huge passion of mine. But before I begin this presentation, I want to go over a brief scenario that is all too common for child advocacy centers. So for a moment, I want you to picture that you're a mom, and your child has just disclosed that dad has been sexually abusing him or her. How would you feel? What questions would you have, and who would you turn to? And if you're the child, are you going to be believed? You didn't want to get dad in trouble, you just wanted the abuse to stop. Child advocacy centers in the community offer a safe place for a child to come to be interviewed. They offer supports for the entire family and resources to the community. In 1985, Congressman Robert Kramer knew this all too well. He had been working as a prosecutor working child sexual and physical abuse cases, and he knew the damage the criminal justice system was doing. So he created the National Child Advocacy Center. From this, collaborations and multidisciplinary teams were created throughout the nation, much like this diagram. When a child comes in and discloses abuse, many people become involved in the process. Law enforcement, child advocacy, medical, health and welfare. This is to provide wraparound services for the child and the family. Also, child advocacy centers are child-friendly, again creating a safe environment. Down to the furniture, the color, the murals on the wall, the child feels safe to come in and disclose a very difficult subject. The Handbook on Child Sexual Abuse says, this form of intervention is proven and effective. It helps the child so they're not interviewed so many times and the healing process is allowed to begin. It's also important to remember the child is not the only victim. Those that care for the child, those are the supporting that child and love that child, are also victims of this form of abuse. They too need supports, which again is very important for the Child Advocacy Center to be offering. Dr. Bruce Perry, in his book, Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog, says, emotional support through a traumatic event is necessary in the healing process. And this is true both for the child and the caregiver. If we aren't supporting that caregiver, the chances of that child being supported are not probably going to happen. He also says in his book, healing comes from positive human connection and relationships. Many of our clients don't understand what a positive connection or a healthy relationship even looks like. Unfortunately, many of our clients' parents come in, they too have been abused, and they don't know how to help in this situation. So supports are also offered for those caregivers. Also, abuse left untreated can lead to long-term health issues, as observed in the Adverse Childhood Experience Study, or the ACEs study. In this study, they recognized children who had been abused, who grew up without any supports or being able to talk or heal from this, had many health issues later on in life. Some of those include eating disorders, substance abuse, including smoking, mental health issues, and high blood pressure, to name only a few. So the resources that a child advocacy center is going to offer are going to be what we call trauma-informed care, meaning we're going to meet that child and that family where they're at. Again, remember I said some people have no idea what a healthy relationship or positive healing even looks like. So those resources are going to come into place so we can meet them where they're at and not judge them and allow them healing. Resources offered: counseling, advocacy through the criminal justice process, medical advocacy, social service supports, and any other supports identified as a need for that client and that family. I also have handouts here on the table for you, and you can see what other services that our agency offers. It's important again to remember child advocacy centers offer safe place, supports, and resources for this community and for children to begin to heal. In conclusion, I would like to end with a quote from President John F. Kennedy. He says, "Children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future." So as I hold my wonderful grandson, I want you all to look at him, and I want you to think, what hope does an abused child have if they're not offered any supports? So thank you again. My name is Tracy Red Heilig, and I probably have time for maybe one question.
How hard is it to find your organization or know where to go or where to call? Is it common knowledge within the community? Or?
Yeah, we actually go out and do many presentations, and we have, I'm sure in the phone book and the paper, we're fairly easy to find. Also hospitals will know how to contact us. But yes, thank you. Thank you all for coming. Oh, we got through it, buddy. We got through it.